So why do you need to release resentment? Well, there is a few reasons here. So first of all, you being resentful is not harming the other person. And I know that when we're resentful, that's usually what we want, right? We want them to feel the pain that they have put on us. That is why we have this feeling, is it's, there's almost this feeling of just, maybe even wanting revenge. But really it's just kind of a feeling of you hurt me and, screw you. And I'm just so mad at you. And the problem with this is that when we have that feeling, that we have this resentment towards somebody else, it comes up a lot. You might think like, oh, I don't think about it all the time, but you really do. It's somewhat sitting there in the background of your mind. And even if it pops into your head, every day or every however often, it's taking away from the energy that you could potentially have. So I know I've said this in other videos before, but let's just imagine here that you've got this much energy that you have in a day. That's it. And so if you were using even this much of it, thinking about that other person in a resentful or negative way, or allowing whatever happened there to bring up negative feelings inside of you, even if it has nothing to do with that other person, but what they've done has, caused you to feel a certain way. Well, you're taking this whole potential energy, using this much, and so then you're only left with this much. And then you wonder, like why you're tired and why you feel like you're stuck, or why you can't get those good creative ideas, or that you just feel like every day is the same as the last day. You're just doing the same things over and over and over and over. It's because of this energy that you have been using on this other person. Now, that's the first reason why, so that you can take that energy back. Now, the second reason why, this is even more important because it's going to affect you in the long run, is that through the law of cause and effect, reaping and sowing, that what you're putting out there is going to come back to you. So when you're thinking all of these really negative and resentful thoughts, they're going to come back to you. Now, you might think they're just thoughts. Nobody knows what's going on in my head. So how is that harming somebody else? It is, because as we talked about before, thoughts are energy. If you're spending this much of your energy on whatever it happens to be, those are just your thoughts. They're just thoughts that you have, but it's also your energy. And so energy that, what we send out to others is received. So let me give you an example of that. Have you ever been thinking about somebody and then they called you or they texted? Or had you ever been thinking about someone and you just happen to run into them? This is one example of how the energy that we're sending out and what we're receiving back, it's just an example, a practical example of, oh, I was just thinking about that, and then it just came to you because it was something you sent out through a thought, also known as energy. So what's so important about this is that what you're sending out will be returned to you. It will be returned to you. So if you are sending out really resentful, negative things to somebody else, not only are they receiving that, and you might think, awesome, like I'm glad that they're receiving that. I get it. I've been there. I know. Trust me. I get it. But the thing about that is you can't send things out and have them not come back to you. So at some point, whatever it is, whatever mental poison, whatever energetic, toxic poison that you've sent to this person, it's going to be returned to you. This is why Jesus said it was so important to turn the other cheek, to forgive people. It wasn't, just because that's the great thing to do. It's because there's actually consequences that come back, and they're going to come back and harm you. And we don't want that for you. You don't deserve that. You were hurt, which is why you're resentful. You don't want more of that. So that's the second reason why it's so important. So now the third reason why it's so important is because from whatever it was that happened, whatever it was that this person did to you, that you're really resentful to them about, whatever that was, there is going to be a lesson that comes from it. And it's like, oh, a lesson, how great. No, but it's really is great, because whatever we learn from these people in our life, we then learn, what we don't want, which allows us to know what it is that we do want. The lessons that we learn make us stronger as a person. From everything that you've gone through in your life, that had you not gone through those things, through those difficult periods in your life, that you wouldn't be who you are today. And when you begin to really love and value and care about yourself, you're going to see those periods in your life as a blessing, because not only now, let's say you're resentful towards someone, well, maybe now you don't have to deal with that person anymore. And you get to then find people who are your tribe, people who are your people. And you never would have done that had that not happened with that person. Maybe somebody hurt you in whatever kind of deep way and it really caused you a lot of damage. Well, because of that, you now have to take your power back. You get to take your power back, and you get to increase that strength and that personal growth and that spiritual growth inside of you because of it. So if you can just shift your view of it a little bit differently and see this as, okay, there has to be something good that is coming from this situation. And if you can shift your focus to that, then that's going to help to free up that energy that you have there and to take it back, to take your power back by doing that. So I just made a quick 5-minute video for resentment. Of course, there's the mental cleanse series that has full length hypnosis videos that can really help you do some deep subconscious work. But if you've only got 5 minutes, there is that 5 minutes to release resentment video that just came out on my channel. So go and check that out. And so I hope that this has given you something to think about here today. Remember the 3 reasons why it's so important to just let it go. And just remember, the most important one of all, the only one that really, really does truly matter, is that what you send out, you will receive back. You're creating what goes on in your world by what it is that you send out. So just, send out really good thoughts about yourself, about the world, about other people, just really about everything. Just send out the goodness. So thanks for watching this video today, and I will see you guys in the next one.